Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no! I want you guys to know that you are very important and special to me. That is the message that I've tried to convey desperately on this YouTube channel, is that there is never enough kindness seen in this world. I miss how people used to be kind 30 years ago. I'm not going to deny that, and I'm not going to lie about that. I never think there was enough kindness spread in this life, which is why the message of life is sweeter when you are is a very powerful message that I'm very happy inspired millions of people to learn the dance regimen, that felt inspired by Ruby Rose Turner, that felt inspired by Kylie Cantrell. Regardless of what inspires you about Descendants, probably it's the costumes, the choreographing, the synopsis, the story plot, and how it unfolded. Thank you guys so much for being here and being a consistent part of my life, because I don't know where I'd be without each and every one of you, and that is something that you will never hear from another YouTube creator that distributes Descendants and Zombies content, because they want you to subscribe to their YouTube channel. There are hundreds of videos being uploaded by the minute about Descendants and Zombies, revolving their content around that, to get you to click on their thumbnail and hit the subscribe button. I want you to hit my subscribe button, but because you love Descendants, that's why I want you to hit my subscribe button. That's why I reveal myself to you on this podcast, because I could be one of those idiots that are uploading Descendants videos between 7 and 12 minutes long that never reveal themselves. Just use an AI voice, an AI script, and Descendants footage, and upload their video and get 10,000 subscribers. Which, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do it. I need all the help I can get. I got 2,000 plus subscribers, etching ever close to 3,000 subscribers, so I need your help, to quote Bugs Bunny in the Space Jam movie with Michael Jordan from 1996. Boy, growing up in the 1990s was so much fun. I had the time of my life growing up in the 1990s. I witnessed the Backstreet Boys go to the top of the Billboard charts, becoming the greatest boy band in the history of boy bands, beating out NSYNC, beating out Westlife. I witnessed hit TV shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Alex Mack go to the top of the TV Billboard charts. I witnessed so many unbelievable things. I witnessed the invention of the Slinky years ago, and that wasn't yesterday. Board games like Trouble and Hungry Hungry Hippos and 13 Dead End Drive. I had a whole lot of fun. Kylie Cantrell has always wanted to have the opportunity to grow up in the 90s, and I'd love to build a time machine and take her back to the 1990s so she could experience it. She was born in June of 2005. By the way, Kylie's birthday is coming up this month on June 25th. We will celebrate Kylie Cantrell's birthday, and I will celebrate it with you. So if you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, I will be celebrating the birthday of Kylie Cantrell because I love her so much. I love her dearly. I think she's fabulous, and I think that we should celebrate her birthday. So I'm inviting you to the coronation of Red, the birthday celebration of Red on this YouTube channel, which will be happening at some point on the 25th of June. So if you have not rang my bell, you're going to want to do that to stay up to date with when that video drops on this YouTube channel. I'm getting tired of all these really crappy Descendants videos that are showing up on YouTube that really serve no point, really make no sense. They use AI, they use fake voices, AI scripts, and the videos really make no sense to me whatsoever. Oftentimes I'm left boggled. My mind is literally boggled by how people are uploading these videos and really getting away with it. Every at least 5 minutes I'm seeing a new YouTube video for Descendants popping up my YouTube recommendations. How they do it, just to give you a bit of a backstory here, they fill their YouTube channel up with bots, and that affects the YouTube algorithm. So if you have 25,000 bots, which are fake subscribers for those of you who don't know, subscribe to a YouTube channel, it affects the algorithm. It pushes that video that much further out there, and their video gets recommended and they get 25,000 subscribers. I only have 3,000 subscribers, but from where I choose to look at it and how I choose to look at it and perceive it, I have the greatest subscribers in the world, the greatest Descendants fans in the world, the greatest audience in the world. So as the YouTube creator and the distributor of this content, it is my duty, my profound duty of excellence, to never let you down. And I have said many times over the years that I will never ever quit on each and every one of you. You know, I had a really rough upbringing in high school. I was bullied, I was pushed in the lockers, I was tripped up so many times in the hallway. So when I saw Bridget's character being bullied in Descendants, I thought of myself. And I thought about what I had to go through. It was never easy. But, you know, I studied theater. I learned how to project my voice to make sure the back of the auditorium could hear you. I learned how to write scripts that were very powerful and sometimes very emotional for Phantom of the Opera, Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, and Dracula. I love those plays. I love doing them over and over again. And if I could go back in time, I'd do it all over again. I remember falling down through the stage as a part of the Phantom of the Opera production. I was the IT guy. I wasn't the Phantom of the Opera, but that night I became the Phantom of the Opera. Ambulance was called. Woo woo! It wasn't good. I was seeing stars, but I did recover after about 3 weeks of recuperation and got back into the theater. If there were 5 guys in the theater room, I was one of those 5 guys, and I was the first one there, and I was the last one to leave, which was a great dedication to what I love so much. I looked at my mom. I said, Mom, I want to try it for theater. She said, go for it. If that's what your heart desires, go for it. And I've studied it ever since. I've studied folk literature, which is why I know and I can appreciate the backstories of all these characters. The gremlins, the witches, the goblins, the characters that have yet to see their introductions into Descendants. There is still a long way to go. And this story is far from over. And that's something I want to instill in all of your minds. It breaks my heart and really reduces me to tears. I can't tell you how many nights I've cried myself to sleep, guys. Watching these videos that are telling you and trying to convince your little minds that Descendants is over. It is not. These are just idiots uploading videos that are just saying that to make you upset, to make you forget about the characters that have such an underappreciated story with folk literature. If you don't know about it, go back in time and study it or look it up online. We've still got a long way to go with this one. I think there is still a possibility that Ruby Rose Turner could come back for Descendants. I miss her dearly. For those of you who haven't figured it out, I'm in love with Ruby. I call her Rube. And I think that never enough endless amount of support and love can be given to someone like Ruby Rose Turner. She is beautiful. She's incredibly talented. And I'm going to miss her dearly. I know I sound like I'm going to cry, but when I talk about these Descendant stars, but I am just like each and every one of you. These Descendant stars, simply put, touched my heart in so many unbelievable ways. I can't even begin to put into words how I've appreciated it time and time again, how many of you have appreciated Descendants for what feels like an eternity, what feels like a lifetime. And if we are going down, we are going down together. I don't care if I'm up against 15 million critics. I have said time and time again, I will proudly take a bullet for each and every one of you. Why have Ruby say goodbye when Ruby could be Rapunzel's daughter in Descendants 5? Did they ever think about that? Even when Ruby expressed her desire to want to be Rapunzel and posed the question of what Disney fairy tale character would you want to portray other than your own, who of course was Bridget from Descendants, The Rise of Red, she immediately jumped to the question and said, Rapunzel. And I concur with that because there was nobody more beautiful to play Rapunzel than her. Probably Ashley Tisdale and Sabrina Carpenter can find their way into the conversation, but if I was the director of Descendants, you would see a whole lot more done with this cast, and you would see a whole lot more appreciation for someone like Ruby, who's had her heart broken more times than enough when she was turned down for specific roles. Kind of put me in mind of how Meg Donnelly was turned down for the role of Supergirl, beat up by Nellie Alcott in the upcoming Superman movie in July, which I will be seeing. I'll have more on that in the coming weeks, so if you haven't subscribed, be sure to do it. But I think Meg Donnelly would have been a powerful representation of Supergirl, especially with how she loved her so much, and she was really the embodiment of Supergirl. Kind of like how Ruby was the embodiment of Bridget. You couldn't have asked for anybody more powerful, more stronger than her to play that character. Boy, Ruby was in such phenomenal shape. I've never seen Ruby look so much stronger than what she was as Bridget. In great shape. She did the parkour and everything for the role. So did Red and Chloe. I love these characters. I think that they are phenomenal characters, true inspirations for all of us. And if we were to draw inspiration from any Descendants characters, the conversation will always come up about Dove Cameron, Mal, Sophia Carson, Evie, who had no backstory whatsoever. But I think that these stars of the new franchise, Descendants, The Rise of Red, and Descendants 5, Wicked Wonderland, are left out of the conversation way too much and criticized beyond belief. We've got to stop criticizing Kylie Control for her political point of view and never being a Trump supporter. I have never been a Donald Trump supporter. I just want to put it out there. And if anything, Kylie has inspired me to want to run to be president of the United States because she's been left heartbroken because fans have criticized her for calling them cuties. They've criticized her for not being a Trump supporter. So what? If she's not a Trump supporter, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm sure there are thousands of people who watch this video that are never a Trump supporter. I would never vote for Donald Trump with how he's making America look absolutely ridiculous. So I kind of concur with Kylie Control. I kind of concur with Ruby Rose Turner, her point of view on stuff. There's a lot of shows on Netflix that she watches that I think I'm going to take an interest in. I think if we paid more attention to the advice that people like Kylie Control and Ruby Rose Turner are giving and how much they're inspiring all of us, we would come out on the other side of the spectrum, out of the time machine, after suffering the consequences of time travel as better people. You know, if there's one thing I would do with a pocket watch, It would have to be go back in time and fix all the mistakes that I've made in my life. Because I'll be honest with each and every one of you, as I've been for the better part of the past 10 years as the voice of Descendants and Zombies, there are a lot of mistakes that I've made over the years. I have made a consistent habit of making a lot of mistakes. But I've always regretted those mistakes, and I've always wanted to go back in time and fix those mistakes, have that opportunity. And I like to believe that Descendants has inspired us all to do the same thing. I think the songs were incredibly beautiful. The music had a very powerful message. I loved it dearly. I thought it was an absolutely gorgeous movie. And I really believe that even though people thought that you could tell a story in 90 minutes, there is no way possible that you can tell a story in 90 minutes. I say this because 90 minutes is only an hour and a half, and we've seen so many Disney movies be an hour and a half and never complete a story. Dumbo was 67 minutes. Dumbo was the shortest animated classic from Disney's library years ago, and that was a crying shame, a far cry from what Dumbo could have amounted to be, and then they made the live action into a 2-hour production, so they significantly increased the length of it. They did the same thing with Beauty and the Beast, because animated classics years ago were never enough time to tell a story. You can't tell the story of The Rise of Red in just 90 minutes and expect to complete it. There is still a long way to go with this, and I'm really excited to see where we're going to go from here with it. Now, you're going to have to excuse me in a couple of minutes. I'm probably going to get a knock on my door because I just ordered a frozen lemonade. I'm going to freeze my brain out on this show. I have a consistent habit of drinking frozen lemonade either before I do a podcast or during a podcast to draw inspiration. I'm still waiting on the call to be a vampire slayer in Dawn of the Vampires. I want to be either a vampire slayer who becomes Meg Donnelly's love interest, Addison's love interest, or just a vampire slayer that kicks a whole lot of ass. I think that would be a whole lot of fun. And I think it would be the funniest Zombies movie that you guys would probably ever see. I want to put it out there too. The Zombies cast has seen their fair share of criticism, and I've heard enough of it. I think that Freya Skye is a phenomenal actress who never gets enough credit. I think Meg Donnelly is someone who never gets enough credit. She is absolutely gorgeous. Being voted off the Masked Singer does not really do her any justice. She got the opportunity to high-five Shrek on there, and Kylie Cottrell has never seen Shrek, so hopefully herself and Mila Baker fixed that and did get the opportunity to watch Shrek. I actually have a copy of Shrek in my DVD collection. I've been telling you guys that I've had Shrek here somewhere. Just give me a second. I know I have Shrek here somewhere, so she's looking for Shrek. Maybe we can do something about it. And where is Shrek? Shrek. Where are you, Shrek? Shrek is here somewhere. Give me a second. Shrek. Where is Shrek? When you have 1,000 DVDs here, it is crazy. Aha! I found Shrek. I have the original Shrek here in my DVD collection. And I noticed on a video that she actually said that she had never seen Shrek before. There it is there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but that is the original Shrek. So if they don't want to live in a trailer, by the time they shoot Descendants 6 here in Canada, I will gladly allow them to stay here in my home. Kylie Cottrell will have her own copy of Shrek, and she will be able to watch it. And I've really taken an interest to Shrek because of the folk literature characters that were in it. We had so many characters. Puss in Boots was in there. Shrek himself. Donkey was in there. Lord Farquaad. I remember watching that for I think it was in grade 10 when I saw Shrek for the very first time. I'm hoping they release Descendants: The Rise of Red on DVD too, because I know they released the original Descendants trilogy years ago, and so many people felt inspired by it. So I'm hoping they do the same thing with The Rise of Red. Now I know with Disney Plus, they're never going to do it, but I think the biggest thing that I'm really upset about is that Ruby Rose Turner is going to be leaving Descendants. I don't know how you can tell a story without Ruby Rose Turner. Now I know we've got this new character, Pink, coming into this. I think she's going to offer a bit of confliction between herself and her sister. I love how families have quarrels in Disney stories. So there isn't going to be an endless amount of opportunity to create a story between these two, and you just can't do it in one movie. So I don't think we should close the book on Descendants 6, especially after how many books have been released about Alice in Wonderland and those characters for forever. There are a total of 4 books in the Alice in Wonderland series. There is Alice in Wonderland, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. There is Alice Through the Looking Glass and What She Found There. And then there are 2 prologues to it also. So there are there's a lot to tell with the story of Alice in Wonderland, and a lot left out. I know there is a lot of confliction of whether or not time travel will be included in this movie, but I think we can never see enough time travel, and there's always an opportunity to go back in time and tell a story, especially when it comes to Descendants. And I don't know about you guys, but I'd love to go back in time, drive a side-by-side through a rabbit hole. I think Descendants would inspire me to have a whole different outlook on my own life. I'm really excited to see where this franchise goes, and I think this story is a long way from over. I just hope this YouTube channel blows up with support and love, because I can never get enough love and support from you guys. You guys are the greatest fans ever, and I think that you deserve the best YouTube videos when it comes to Descendants and Zombies for what feels like forever. And I'm not lying to you. I do have a copy of Shrek. I do have a lot of Kylie Contrell's favorite movies, and I just don't think that Kylie Contrell should be a victim of criticism as much as what she has been. It really breaks my heart when I hear people, jumping down the throat of Kylie Contrell. She's reduced to tears on TikTok. If anything, she should be on TikTok having fun. I see her on TikTok all the time dancing. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart when I hear Ruby talking about being turned down for roles for Descendants. It also breaks my heart that she's got a crush on Justin Bieber, because the only thing he's going to do is take her to Best Buy. When he finds out she doesn't have a TV, he's going to try to buy her one and set it up for her. I've always wanted Ruby Rose Turner to have better aspirations in life, so maybe having them shoot Descendants 6 out of my backyard, if it ever is a possibility, will definitely broaden their horizons. And for those of you who have never been here to Newfoundland, it is a beautiful place. I can take them to a lot of locations that will probably inspire the directors and the writers to shoot specific scenes from Descendants. So we can have a lot of stuff happen with this, and I'm really see where we go from here, because the possibilities are really endless. If there's one thing that I've learned from being a theater kid for forever, is that the possibilities of having your dreams achieved are really endless. You should never give up on your dreams. There's always a new opportunity to create and tell a story. You can tell so many. Look at how many variations of Dracula, for instance, have been told over the years. How many different versions of Romeo and Juliet and Hamlet have been told. There are endless amounts of opportunities to create, and if you've ever wanted to be a theater kid, I think you should go for it. If you've ever wanted to be a dancer, I think you should go for it. I know I have a lot of dancers, people who are inspired by dance, subscribe to this YouTube channel. People who are inspired by theater, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Fans of Tangled, fans of Phineas and Ferb, fans of Descendants, fans of Zombies, fans of Hannah Montana, Sweet Life, what have you. Thank you guys so much for just being here and never ever quitting on what you believe in. I think there is so much of a story yet to be told with Descendants. There is confliction between the sisters, Red and Pink. In this one, Keanu Romero is going to do a phenomenal job as the role of Pink in this one, but I don't think you can tell the story as effectively without Bridget's character. I've heard so many beautiful AI songs inspired by Bridget's character and songs she has sang over the years. I'm just going to miss her. I've been a fan of her. I say this because I've been a huge fan of her ever since the Coop and Cammy TV series, which only went 2 seasons. Gabby Dern and the Uncitables, which only went 2 seasons. I think they got something like 60 episodes or something. 30 episodes per season. Half hour each, 22 minutes without commercials. Series that definitely ended long before their time. But I say this because I think Ruby Rose Turner is incredibly gorgeous and definitely underrated. She is somebody that could be up there with the Miley Cyruses of the world, could be up there playing characters like Rapunzel. Why take her out of the Descendants franchise when so many people loved Ruby? I remember Kylie Contrell calling fans years ago, just after The Rise of Red had premiered a little over a year ago, and so many fans were so upset that Ruby was saying goodbye to Descendants. But I don't think she said goodbye. I believe that Dove Cameron has said goodbye to Descendants and reprising a role as Mel more than what people like Ruby Rose Turner had, because I think Ruby, if ever had the opportunity to make a cameo even in Descendants, I think she would jump at the opportunity. I just want to say this. Ruby was my favorite Descendants character because she was so bubbly. Life is Sweeter When You're was really a bubblegum type song that I just absolutely adored, and if there ever was a song from the entire Rise of Red score that was a beautiful representation of what life can truly be, for me, and from where I choose to look at it, Life is Sweeter When You Are definitely was that song for me. Fight of Your Life was a good song. Red was a great introduction to that character. She was so fearless. She didn't want to be anything like her mom. I thought it was absolutely gorgeous. And if there's anything we can take away from The Rise of Red, it is that Just be yourself. That's what counts. That's what matters. Don't ever aspire to be something that somebody wants you to be. Don't ever be something that somebody is attracted by. Just be yourself, and if they love you, they're going to love you. The same thing with theater. If the audience loves you, they're going to let you know about it. If they hate you, they're also going to let you know about it. And I think that a lot of people tend to forget that. I'm always asked advice when it comes to theater productions. I'm standing at the back of the auditorium, and people ask me for advice, and the best piece of advice that I could ever offer somebody is that all you've got to do is go out there and be yourself. And that's really all that matters. If you can go out there and be yourself, if the audience loves you, they're going to let you know about it. If you're shit, the audience is also going to let you know about it. But the thing is, all you can do is just go out there and be yourself, and that's what counts. And that's what I've wanted to aspire everybody to be on this YouTube channel, is really just be yourself. I think the message of kindness has never spread enough. And I just want to do that. I also want to let people like Meg Donnelly and Ruby Rose Turner know that your time to shine is far from over. No matter if they turn you down for roles of Supergirl, roles in Descendants of Rapunzel and Bridget, your services are no longer required, say. I want to let you know that your time to shine is far from over, and you've inspired millions of fans. The entire Descendants franchise has inspired over 10 million fans across all social media platforms, and I think that is really dashing, to quote a prince from Descendants. That is absolutely unbelievable. That is mind-blowing every single time. That is a statistic that never, ever fails to captivate me. Where is my frozen lemonade? You know those are $4.60 when you go order those? That is crazy. When you get a large frozen lemonade, $4.60 out of your pocket. That's why I have to run for President of the United States. Because if I run for President of the United States, I'm going to lower the cost of everything. Everything. I'm going to finance Descendants. I'm going to make Disney Plus mandatory in all homes across America. Other countries that want to join us in the regimen can. And I'm going to give Kylie Contrell a president that she can finally be proud of. And I think ultimately, that's what counts. If you can give somebody something to be proud of, then you've achieved your goal in this life. Guys, it has been an honor and a privilege covering Descendants and being the voice of Descendants and Zombies for you for the better part of the last 10 years. If anything, this has been an honor and a privilege to be able to sit behind this microphone and record my thoughts and opinions on Descendants and Zombies for you every single day and night. Thank you so much for just being here. I'm going to upload this video on pre-schedule to come out tomorrow. So thank you so much. If you haven't hit the like button, make sure you do that. If you haven't rang my bell to subscribe to this YouTube channel, I would more than appreciate you for doing that. And hopefully you love this YouTube channel. You think the guy hosting it is really sweet, and you just want to be a part of something special. I know there are 500 Descendants videos out there that you could be subscribed to. But that's besides the point. I just want you to subscribe here because it's such an honor and a privilege having you here. So what do you say we watch this Descendants video? It actually features one of your favorites, Dove Cameron, just after a couple of her new singles dropped off of the compilation Too Much. So what do you say we watch this video together?
And I got in the car with my then partner, and I remember so vividly him. I said, "Wasn't that such a beautiful night?" And he said, "You know, people really like you better when you talk less." And recently, I just sort of, in the last 2 years, have done a lot of work on myself, and I started to kind of embrace my muchness.
Yes, I like how you said that. Embrace your muchness.
Embrace your muchness.
Take that power back. That gave me chills hearing you say that. So many are going to be inspired by that.
Well, I think also, like, I find it so attractive when someone is in the fullness of who they are.
Yes.
I always think it's so beautiful, and I'm drawn to it. I think it's magical. It's like the best part when you see a person who is so expressive, I think they're not, I think there's this sort of a cultural belief that if someone is a lot of themselves, there's less room for others, and that's not true. All of my friends are the main character of their life, my life. Like, I really think that healthy people make each other bigger and better. And if someone is trying to tell you that they love you on one hand, and then on the other hand saying, like, but I would love you a little bit more if you were a little more or a little less this. It's
That's
like,
don't change.
It's not a math problem that adds up, right?
Yes, yes, well said.
Whoa, man, you drink one of these large frozen lemonades and you are screwed up for the rest of the day. I was telling the truth. Guys, thank you so much for your love and support for this YouTube channel. I don't know where I would be without each and every one of you. It's so much fun getting a chance to look at the newer Descendants footage, but it's equally just as fun watching the retro Descendants footage from the original trilogy. And it's nice to see Dove Cameron promoting her new album, her new compilation. It's called Too Much. I saw a performance of one of her songs. I think it was actually Too Much on one of the late night talk shows a while back. It immediately went on YouTube 24 hours after. It got tens of thousands of views, and deservedly so. I miss Dove Cameron, but the chances of her reprising her role as Mel seem second to none. But we have Kylie Cantrell and Mila Baker to look forward to, and the new portrayal of the character Pink. I'm really looking forward to seeing where we go from here with this, but that goes without saying, I'm going to miss Ruby Rose Turner. I don't know how you can tell a story without Ruby Rose Turner being a part of it. I'm really excited to see where we go from here. So if you guys have not rang my bell to stay up to date with notifications, you're going to want to do that. Don't forget to give me a couple of likes. And what do you say we take this opportunity to go spread some kindness right now? Bye, YouTube. We will do it again in a couple of days.